Oh my gosh, guys, are you kidding me?
As we enter the sand portion here on the beach, I want you to use judicious throttle, a little bit more than you might think is necessary. We're going to power down the beach
My gosh.
and turn back around.
I've been driving the new Passport TrailSport on some really cool trails here in Puerto Rico. And you can see some really incredible Passport TrailSports here that are equipped. Each one of these is equipped a little bit differently, but I'm gonna focus on this guy because it has a lot of the features that some of those, for example, that one over there, you can see the Honda badge is blacked out on it. All right, this one doesn't have the blackout package, but it does have a lot of the accessories. Now, technically, this is equipped similar to the limited launch edition of the new Passport, except even though we get white wheels like the limited 500 unit limited run launch edition, this has the sunset orange instead of the green. The green is actually what you guys will be getting for the launch edition. All right. Now, what I just learned is that a lot of these, I just tripped over this branch. Go away, branch. A lot of these accessories are put on it, not at the dealer, but at the manufacturing plant. All right, so in Lincoln, Alabama, they have an accessory plant there where they put on this decal. Like, the dealer doesn't touch this decal. It's done by the professional accessory shop in Lincoln, Alabama. All right, now these white wheels, all the optional wheels, all the wheels are put on at the production line as well. Okay, you can see the HPD logo right here. This is the HPD package, Honda Performance division. All right, and so underneath there's this, on the front, we have, of course, the standard skid plates on the TrailSport model, but you also have this HPD little plastic cover to protect the very bottom of the plastic portion of your bumper. All right, so instead of scuffing your bumper on things, well, you have this scuffable piece here that you can replace and remove over time. All right, there's those tow hooks, or should I say recovery points up front. Both of those are rated individually at 2 times GVWR. So I think Honda just shared something pretty cool recently with them hanging from a crane off of those recovery points, which is quite wild. So even though these white wheels are optional, the size is not. So every single Passport is going to have 18-inch wheels, whether it's RTL or TrailSport Elite. Now down at the bottom, we have a recessed valve here, air valve for your tires. So when you're off-roading, you're not likely to snag it on a rock. All right, these general grabber tires, 31 inches. We'll show you how they perform off-road here shortly. Also, the TrailSport models have upgraded suspensions as well. So underneath here, it's gonna be hard to see, and that's why I'm not gonna get under there, because it's right over here. So this is the HPD rock sliders, and they are quite cool and built from steel here on the back. But this stainless steel part here is removable. This little, it's kind of like a superficial flex, to be honest, with that real bright reflective stainless steel with the HPD logo. But if you really damage it, you can replace it, because it screws into this more heavy duty frame behind it. So I thought that was pretty fascinating. Here are the skid plates that you can't really see underneath of that Passport TrailSport. And these things are super heavy duty, very, very thick steel, very heavy. I'll show you some B-roll of the ones that were all scuffed up previously. Now we're gonna get under the hood. This actually has the new double overhead cam V6 at 3.5 liter. Oh, we have hood shocks. That's very luxurious. I was in a Acura ADX lately, which actually can be optioned to cost as much as where this vehicle starts, around the mid 40s. But anyways, this has hood struts, quite nice. 3.5 liter V6, 285 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, somewhere around there. 10-speed automatic. So they got rid of the old J-Series VTEC engine, for better, for worse, right? I love that engine in the Odyssey. This is a good engine too. You'll see here in a little bit in the off-road portion how impressed I was with it. And the 10-speed's great. From the Pilot to the Odyssey, it's fantastic in those vehicles, for example. It's pretty good in the MDX as well, this 10-speed. All-wheel drive is standard throughout the trim levels. The RTL and the TrailSport models all have IVTM4, aka super handling all-wheel drive, what is called an Acura side anyways. And they're all rated about 20 miles per gallon, right? Because they all have similar size wheels and tires. I think the TrailSports have thicker, wider tires, for example, wider tires than the RTL model. All right, so let's go ahead and close this down. And I want to show you guys the very back. The table is actually assembled here. You see the table in its final form. Let's see what the I think this can hold about 44 pounds, 20 kilograms. So that's kind of nice. And then you can see how it locks in. You have 4 different locks to get it locked into the back of the Passport here, okay? Also, what's unique on this one, with the white wheels, we have the white Passport lettering in the back, which I think is exclusive to that launch edition. Towing hitch down there, I can believe this tows around 5,000 pounds. I'll fact check myself if that is not correct. All right, looks really nice, looks good as it should. Parking sensors back here, opening up the huge square lift gate. It's a very, very quiet operation. We do have, if I lift this up, full size, well, not full size spare, but full diameter, just not full width. And then you can store the legs of that table behind us here underneath. All right, so you can also accessorize this with the molly racks. You can clip things to it on each side, but it's nice to have some deep areas over there for additional storage. You also have 150 watt accessory power here in the back, which is quite nice. I can press that, walk away, and it will close the rear hatch. But we also have the button up here, of course. So let's go ahead and get on the inside. This model has the black and the red, or sorry, the orange stitching. That model over there has the tan and the black, which looks real nice too. All right, anyways, TrailSport here embossed on the headrest. Let's get inside. We have kind of like this camouflage sort of prismatic pattern instead of like wood or something like that on the door trim, or just like a glossy black. This looks pretty cool. Memory seats here. All right, let's go ahead and fire her up. I think the key's in here. You know what? It almost gave me an animation. Should we go see what the animation is? All right, well, there's the closing animation. Let's see. Let's get out. We'll trick it into thinking we're getting into the car for the first time. What happens when I close the door and put my foot on the brake? All right, am I gonna get that cool animation? No, I didn't. I don't know. I don't know how I triggered that animation that showed up for a second. Oh, there's one. That's cool. HPD. That has to be pretty unique to this specific launch model. A cool little boutique startup screen. KC Passport here, tiny volume knob. I think this is taken brought over from the Civic. That thing is tiny, but it gets the job done. Volume knob is better than no volume knob. Heated and ventilated seats here. The triple climate control is a masterpiece. 2 USB-Cs, wireless charger, which actually worked really well on my off-road trail. I like the topographical rubber mat down here as well, and inside of the dash, pretty soft dash as well. We got, I think it's a 12 speaker. I want to say it's 12 or 15 speaker Bose system in here on the TrailSport Elite. Let's lift this up. Okay, it looks like some hubcaps there. Took those off and put the HPD ones, which are pretty cool, right? We have the TrailSport steering wheel with the baseball stitching. It is really good. Really, I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm very impressed with it. TrailSport badge here, heated steering wheel, and the TrailSport Elite. All right, we have this big panel roof, which I think is standard actually on both TrailSport models. And this will open up and slide back too, for example. All right, rubber lined or foam lined sunglasses holder. That's great. Okay, we have this big 12-inch screen here. So you're gonna have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless, but this also has Google built in. So if you guys wanna see where I'm at, and are we able to change this from, let's look at satellite so you guys can get an idea of where I'm at. Here in Puerto Rico. So I am all the way down here, the southeastern area, and I'll go ahead and play some B-roll of this general area. And I saw these rocks in the ocean here just a second ago. We had lunch right here at this house, which is just sitting on top of a mountain with an incredible look. And then you can, in the distance, you'll be able to see Vieques, which is pretty neat. And I'll just recenter. Pretty incredible having that Google built in, but you can do the same thing on Android Auto, for example, and Apple CarPlay. No traditional shifter here, but that really declutters this area. It's not the most brawny or masculine thing to push button gear select or drive select, but it's actually pretty decent in terms of functionality. Big cup holders. Shall we get in the back seat? We'll turn her off. Are we going to get any more animations? Nope. Again, in the back seat, we do have sunshades here on this TrailSport Elite. Do these seats have multiple reclines? No, I believe it's just one setting for recline. So that might take some people some getting used to. But the leg room is great back here. TrailSport Elite also comes with this sort of carpet mat, where their normal TrailSport comes with the rubber TrailSport mats, which I prefer the rubber mats, and you can still buy those if you wanted to. Heated outboard seats here on the TrailSport Elite, 2 more USB-Cs at the bottom, and again, another accessory outlet, 150 watts for something like a laptop. Like quad mat pockets, maybe whatever 6 is, because there's like a little phone slot here, a little, I don't know, stick a gum slot there, and then a mat pocket or a laptop pocket there. But it's good to have the climate control in the back, and as well as cup holder. Enough dilly-dallying, let's see how this performs out on the trail. So Honda's built a part of this off-road camp, and you guys can see this camera. And yes, the lady waving in front of me as well. Cool. That we have this off-road park that they built. They have a couple excavators here. Cool. All right, thank you. That one was that was a tricky one. All right, we did it. We made it though. All right, and this is going to be child play here. This one, just maintain throttle. That V6 is smooth, and we made it. All right, that's why you have skid plates on this thing.
Your new nickname is Airtime.
Airtime, see, so we do have a hill descent control. It is on, this little button by the drive modes, and it'll tell me on the screen here when I'm locked into that speed. So it says 2 mile an hour, and it's green. Green means locked in. We're gonna keep 2 mile an hour here. All right, the new trail cam here, these orange patches tell you where the tires are and what you're gonna run over, which is quite helpful. And there's also this camera mode as well if you wanna see the side of the vehicle. You still have your tire path thing here. But I like this one, and it went to 4 mile an hour there. I can adjust it with the brake pedal and the gas pedal, the hill descent control. Pat the gas pedal, it will go to 3, 4. All right, so with single taps. It's not, if you try to do the paddle shifters to adjust speed, it actually shifts the transmission. All right, I do have auto brake hold too, just as, you know, convenience. We're coming to quite a few stops here all along the trail, so I like having the auto brake hold on. Side cameras are on, and you can see the bamboo sticks here on the side cameras, which is pretty helpful.
Slow.
There we go. Okay, hill descent worked quite well. But I was saying that when you put it into trail mode, which, guys, there's sport, normal, econ, snow, trail, sand, and tow. They said to be mainly in the trail mode. Trail mode is going to change the shift points of the vehicle to maximize torque. Change it. So I'll take off hill descent control, and it'll show me the pitch and dive. It's too bad that the pitch and roll goes away when you do hill descent control. And then you also have an elevation tracker, which updates, I believe.
Oh, that was sick. Good job.
What did he say? Like every minute, something like that. The elevation counter resets every minute, and when you turn the car on, it resets again. There's also a compass, so it tells me I'm heading northeast. Okay, so that's baked into the trail mode as well. And the camera comes up right away on the trail mode. All right. It is actually quite nice on turns. See what your tire's doing here. That this tree that's fallen is definitely not scripted at all, but we'll get some more wheel in the air action here. I'm gonna wait for this Passport to go. And let's go ahead and put her, I could do hill descent control, but I'm gonna try my brakes here for a little bit. Very good, very good. I still have hill descent control on. I said I was gonna take it off. I'll do it next time. I thought I took it off. But you know, once you get back to neutral ground or going uphill, on the screen here it'll say hill descent control on standby. So it's waiting for you to tilt your nose down again for the next essentially cruise control while you're going downhill. So pretty neat. And level ground here, it's still on standby. I'm gonna take it off because I want to play with, I just want to have a little bit more input with the brake system and the vehicle. So this Honda sign here at the obstacle park says Voyager Light. Voyager Light. So let's do some Voyager Light stuff here. Oh man, there's another Pilot up here with the metal bumper. So one of the tips I was also given is to put it into S mode, which will also give you a little bit better access to your 262 pound-feet of torque, to my understanding. It sounds like, it feels like the gas pedal is a little bit more sensitive in S mode. So it's easier. You don't have to work as hard to get it up the hill.
On the highest point of this climb here, you're going to want to be in sport on that drive selector. So go ahead and press the DS button once to make sure you see S on your dashboard. And we're going to go nice and smooth and steady up this road. The slower you go, the more fun it'll be.
The slower you go, the more fun it will be. Yeah, it kind of reminds me, you know, people say, you know, like a dual sport motorcycle is very different than like an off-road focused dirt bike. They can't handle the speed like a full-on off-road bike. But they can do it. They can do all the off-road stuff essentially a dirt bike can, but they just do it slower, right? The suspension, the body, the engine, all of it's a little bit different. And so I'm comparing this a little bit to, let's say, since it's a unibody, something like a body-on-frame vehicle. That's going to be more focused for off-road by default, all right, in theory, right? And Honda's taken essentially a dual sport motorcycle, which is really good on-road and can do some off-road here with the Passport. I just saw Pilot. It's a Passport TrailSport. Okay, pretty cool. I like having this camera here to see on the other side because I could not see. All right, and we have a huge mound here that we have to get around. Again, this wheel. Should I go back to this camera? Maybe we can go back to this camera for you guys. All right, both of them are quite nice. You know, the ride quality here is pretty nice off-road. It's not too bumpy, or it doesn't push you around too much.
Should have prompted you, Emmy. That rock crawl to your right was part of the trail, but we'll just say you did it at an expert level and pretend like you did.
She went.
Okay, that's great. I'll put that in the story for sure.
That's hilarious. It's okay. I got a bad nickname for getting too much air, I think. So maybe it's a good nickname. Maybe I'm just a risk taker. Man, that's a big mountain in front of us. And you know, will I use crawl control here, or should I say downhill ascent control here? No, I think I'm just going to use my brakes. I'll just use my brakes. You know, the downhill ascent control, I'll be honest, yes, it works really, really well. I'm still trying to figure out how to accurately increase or decrease speed one increment at a time. If it was a paddle shifters, it'd be really, really simple, really easy, but it's not. And you gotta press the gas or press the brake to speed it up or slow it down. All right, so here we go. I'm just gonna use the good old brake pedal. Got a spotter down here at the bottom. And I got that trail camera there. Let's go and start diving. I had no problem controlling the brakes there without downhill sync control. It's a great feature, I think, especially if you're going to be on the trail a long time, so you don't get too much fatigue, I guess I would say. It just, you know, it's the same thing as cruise control if you're on the highway. Instead of having to modulate the gas pedal a lot, nanny the gas pedal to keep speed and whatnot, well, this just keeps your speed automatically as you go downhill. So it's a bit of an easy button. Some people who buy this and do off-road might not use it, and that's okay. It's good to have more features than not. The downhill sync control is pretty cool. I got to this point a little bit uphill. I got off the gas pedal and it started rolling back. So that's when I kind of like this auto brake hold feature. It's going to stop me from rolling back too, as well as give my right leg a little bit of a break here on the trail. Now, how does this compare to some other unibodies that I've taken off-road? Well, what's the Hyundai Santa Fe, XRT I've taken off-road. I've taken the Tucson XRT off-road. And I've also taken the Santa Cruz XRT off-road. Those are all unibody. How does this compare? Well, this feels like a more substantial vehicle. It feels a little bit more solid than those, which is what you want off-road, absolutely. It doesn't have that immense torque like some of the Hyundais do with the 2.5 liter turbo. But this is a smoother and quieter experience than I've had in any other unibody off-roader. The suspension is plush.
Emmy, your chance to redeem yourself is coming up. We got another side tilt ahead.
Redeem myself how? I am perfect.
You're right, I'm sorry. Everything's fine.
You don't get views like this every day, you know. We do have pretty water in parts of Florida, especially the Keys, but we don't have this vantage point where you're overlooking the beautiful blue ocean with its different colors, and then that body of land, not the body of water. You see the mountains in the distance. That's the island called Vieques. So Vieques is right over there. They have wild horses on that island. They have a volcanic black sand beach. So beautiful, beautiful place. Bunny Hop Drop. That's a cute name. All right, so I'm going 3 miles an hour right here. If I want to get down to 2 miles an hour, okay, I just kind of tapped the brake and kept my foot on it until it went up. Now, went down. Now, if I want to increase speed, okay, I did it. Just tapping my right foot. There it goes. All right.
Nice and slow down.
It's probably like a
you reach the main road again. Nice and slow.
It's like a 1 second hold or maybe even 2 second hold. All right, to get the speed to go up and down just one increment or 1 mile an hour. All right, so 2 miles an hour was what I'm kind of holding going down this real steep grade. Again, it would be cool. It's about it was like a 30, I don't know. I don't have exact degrees. It's kind of a general.
As you reach the bottom of Bunny Hop Drop, you're making a right to go uphill.
Right, here we go. I don't have exact degrees for my my forward tilt. See the waves crashing. Unbelievable. You know, I revealed the Tacoma in Kona, Hawaii. This is equally as beautiful, I would say. It's not nearly as high in elevation, but the water here might be prettier than it was in Kona. Stunning. All right, so back to my trail. It says the downhill sync control. Once I got out of that, I don't know how to bring it back up. So I might have to turn it off then turn it back on, because once you exit out, I don't know how to bring it back up. All right, so that might be a thing for you guys. So I'm just going to turn it off, and I'm going to do brakes from here on out. So downhill sync control, it's not the easiest to play with. Sometimes if I press the brake for a second, it'll slow down an extra increment. Sometimes it's a couple seconds I have to hold, all right? And likewise with the gas pedal. Also, I forgot to mention in trail mode, it adjusts the ABS system, it adjusts the traction control system as well, all right? And it's probably gonna be a little bit more aggressive with torque distribution, of course, to all the wheels. But yeah, just locked in 2 miles an hour. It's very, very smooth. Sometimes when you do downhill sync control in unibody vehicles, I mean, you hear the ABS working a lot, jumping in. Now maybe it's because we just have good traction here on this path. That's a possibility. These tires are doing a really good job. These General Grabber tires, they're doing a great job. No traction issues. So maybe that's why the ABS isn't kicking in hardly at all. But maybe the system's also just really good, where it doesn't hardly ever need to use the ABS in most situations. All right, so I'm going to increase it to 3. See, I just hit the gas pedal and I thought it would increase it to 3 miles an hour and it didn't. Okay, and then the second time I did it, then it increased to 3. So I don't know. I just probably need more time with it to really get familiar with the sensitivity of the pedal and how much pedal application I need to increase the speed. And with seeing these vehicles from the back, a lot on the trail, they look sharp, man. Now I put it into manual here to make sure we're staying in that first gear. We do not want to stop going up this hill. We want to maintain momentum. Keep that momentum the whole time, even if it's slow. You don't want to stop, because getting traction once you've stopped is very difficult. I don't have nearly as much off-roading experience as compared to a lot of other people, but I've driven in countless instances of snow in the Midwest, and traction, I mean, friction is not different with snow. Yes, it changes a little bit, but the premise is the same. Like, if you have limited traction, you do not want to give up your momentum. Okay, momentum is key to keep moving. If you come to a stop, then you might be sliding down the hill. Okay, and I'm just going to pick up speed a little bit more. It's not very bumpy, so. The V6 just purring away.
Zach, go as wide as you can here on this turn. We're going to stay against that wall for as long as we can, and we're making a U-turn.
Now, will brake hold me in this position? Because I am like, yep, brake hold does hold you while you're pretty much, I mean, if I had to take a guess, 35 degrees, my guess right now. Let's go ahead and check.
Folks, I'm going to talk real quick so I don't have to talk again for a little bit. We're going down this slope here that we originally went down, the one right here in the middle. We're going to use oversend control. Same procedure. Go nice and slow. Get to the edge of the entrance, count to 10, and then you can go. And on the way up, we're going back up that same hill, but we're deviating. We're taking a nice little side path that we call the zigzag. So same procedure on the way up. You're in sport mode on the way up. Just follow the line of the vehicle in front of you.
All right, so we went from kind of a dirt path. Now I can literally hear the ocean of the window down. And we're gonna be taking this maybe at 8-10 mile an hour, he said, on this sand beachy road-ish. I mean, the palms here are just so beautiful. And I can hear the ocean, I can smell the ocean. This is just, I feel like I'm like playing a Donkey Kong game or something. Oh, it's so fun. Is Donkey Kong still relevant? Does Donkey Kong ever go out of relevance? Oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Koopa Troopa Beach. They've been using Nintendo puns and stuff. They had a Bowser's Bath earlier. Oh my gosh, guys, are you kidding me?
As we enter the sand portion here on the beach, I want you to use judicious throttle, a little bit more than you might think is necessary. We're going to power down the beach
my gosh.
and turn back around.
All right. Let's not get into the water. Oh yeah. Judicious throttle, that's what I want to hear.
Right-hand turn as you enter the beach, folks. Right-hand turns.
Unbelievable. So I think it's time to summarize off-roading the Passport. It is very capable. It's outside of like the Defender, I can't think of maybe a more capable unibody vehicle for off-roading, at least off the top of my head. All right, I think the Bronco Sport's also unibody. People say this is kind of like a bigger Bronco Sport from the looks, all right, from the design department, and I would agree. I mean, they look similar. This just has more of that, obviously a Honda flair to it. All right, its off-roading capabilities are pretty good. I mean, the thing is, you're just not going to be doing speed runs and anything like this. It's going to take you anywhere you need to go, I would say, in comfort. I'm really surprised with the ride quality off-road and the smoothness of the engine. The engine's very quiet in here, even when you're going really, really straight up. Okay, so that's good. The downhill descent control, or hill descent control, is very, very good. And it just, you're gonna have to get used to modulating the speed with the pedals. All right, I still haven't got used to it, but I've only been in here, I don't know, 40 minutes or so, and I haven't been doing downhill the whole time. All right, so people will be fine with that, I think. The tires haven't given me any issues with traction. I think it's, these tires are great, these General Grabbers. But yeah, the Passport, the wheelbase is longer. It is about 1.5 inches wider in the front with the wheel spacing. They call that a track. It's, I think, even wider in the back, like 1.7 inches or something. So, like, this is not a vehicle you're going to take to Moab. This is not a vehicle most people are, I mean, lifting this is pretty much impossible, right? Because it's not body on frame. But you can put bigger tires on. These are 31-inch tires. But that's more of an aesthetic thing, I would say. So when you put 33s on here, how many people are going to be able to notice the difference in off-road performance between a 31, 33 on a Passport? Someone will, but the majority of people who are buying a Passport are not going to be taking it off-road often. It's going to be seldomly, I would say, and it is making mincemeat of this off-road trail here in the jungle, the tropical rainforest here in Puerto Rico. We're in the southeastern part of Puerto Rico. Vieques, that island I showed you off the eastern shore of Puerto Rico. So I'm happy with the Passport. I mean, I knew it was going to be good off-road. What I didn't know was how smooth it was going to be. You just never know what the unibody. The engine's smooth, the transmission's smooth, the suspension is smooth. It's quiet in here. I have dual pane glass. Like, this is luxury off-roading. And Honda's done a great job with it. So I'm excited. I know this thing can do much more technical stuff than what I'm doing right now. It is more capable given the right circumstances and the right driver to do more than what I'm doing right now. But this is just kind of a little demo of capability. Most people in the United States will never ever be pushing their Passport to the level that I am today. All right, and it is really good at it. Okay, the undulations are really smooth. In a body on frame, sometimes the undulations can really throw you back and forth, left and right. I feel very comfortable in this seat. and I feel like I could do this for a long time. All right, which I am. Like we're about halfway through on this off-roading trail, and it's already been about 45-50 minutes or something like that doing this off-road trail. So it's just, this is it's a really good off-roading vehicle. I love the V6. I love the smoothness of it, and the suspension is really, really impressive. So thank you guys for watching. I don't know what else to say about the Passport TrailSport. Honda's done a great job with it. The looks department is fantastic. The capability, it has the off-road chops, maybe not to the extent of something like a body-on-frame 4Runner, but like, guys, it's easy mode here doing this off-roading, as long as you're going slow. All right, if you want.
Okay, folks, a little bit of a jiggy maneuver here. You're going to make a left and a left. And as you travel uphill, you will lose grip. If you feel the tires spinning or you hear the ABS actuating, do not lift out of the throttle. Maintain your pressure on that throttle, and I think you're going to be surprised how IVTM4 reacts and finds you grip going up the hill.
Okay, so, you know, let's close out this video by testing out the IVTM4. Same thing as super handling all-wheel drive from the Acura end. All right, so I just want to keep that throttle going. We're going around the left-hand side here. I can already tell this patch of dirt here is not nearly as worn. All right, so it's going to be a little bit looser compared to the other paths we've been taking. But honestly, it's just chewing this up and spitting it out. Haven't had any traction issues yet that I can tell. It's just chugging along. Now this particular model has the two skid plates from the factory on the TrailSports. One underneath the engine, I think, or one underneath the front of the vehicle, the engine area, one underneath the fuel tank area, and I think there's an additional one in the back. So we have lots and lots of underbody protection. But I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching. Honda, thank you for sending me out to Puerto Rico to test this in the beautiful jungles of Puerto Rico. These rainforests are beautiful. This island's beautiful. The people have been great on this trip, and I can't wait to get in the water. Hopefully I can get in the water today. Let me know in the comments, if you're buying a Passport, are you going to be taking it off-road? All right, let me know in the comments. It's more than capable for 95+% of off-roading people out there. All right, and it comes really well equipped from the factory. Yes, there's tons of accessories, but honestly, at least if you're not doing anything more than this trail, you don't need to do anything more than this vehicle comes with from the factory, essentially. It doesn't need bigger tires, maybe that extra skid plate in the back, which is an accessory. All right, so it's great. It's great from the factory as an off-roader. TrailSport is a, I forgot to give them a 10-second lead. TrailSport is, it's legit. See you guys in the comments. Are you going to take your TrailSport Passport off-road? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Be safe out there.